Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're back in Castle Flipper. In the last episode we built the 3 small houses in front of us. They're 2x2 square or 4 area houses, and in today's episode we're going to build 3 more houses. This time these are going to be 2x3 or 6 plot houses. I'm hoping we can fit 3 in. We should be able to, because they should be the same width because it's another 2. If we do the 2 at the side first and then fit the middle one in between. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there should be plenty of space. We don't really want them any closer than we have to, because I do kind of want at least a couple of windows on the sides between the houses. So what we need to do is rotate where the windows are between the houses so that no one can see directly into the neighbour's house. Much better if you see a blank wall rather than into the neighbour's property. And we want to rent these houses out so that we've got a steady income coming in. So this kind of corner of our plot is all rental houses. I'm trying to do it quickly, and I'm also trying to spread the windows out. So you can see on one side we've got 2 windows, and then on the other one we want the window in the gap between the 2 windows for the other house. So there, so they're staggered windows, so no one sees directly into the neighbour's house. At least that's the plan, and I think I've got them all in the right spot. So now we want the full walls to fill in the gaps between. This is why we've got to be careful where we're placing the walls and when we start transforming them into the materials we're using for this particular house. We want to make sure that we hit the right panels and not the neighbour's property and change it all where we don't plan to. Let's see if I miss any. So I don't think we'll build any of these in wood, because I think these want to be slightly more like upscale housing, and we're also straight opposite the, as it were, a landlord's plot, so these don't want to look like tacky or anything, do they? So we don't want to use any wood. I think we'll probably use stone for 2 of them, and maybe we'll stretch to a plaster on one of them. I also want to try and make all the roofs different, so we've used the tall V on the first one. We'll use the lower V on the middle one, so it kind of matches the house opposite. And then the end one, I think we might try and use one of those like V-shape roofs. Shall we just, yeah, let's use the, oh no, that's the wrong way around. We'll use the V-shaped roof look, and we'll make 2 like little roofs next to each other. We're going to have to remove that one because I put it in the wrong orientation. See, I was saying be careful that you don't put things wrong, and then I put one wrong, didn't I? Right, so at least it's only one we've got to move so far. So I think that's sorted all that. So the first one, shall we use a pristine rock? Let's use a pristine rock for that one. We get this really lovely floor texture. It's kind of a nice polished wall as well on the side walls, and then you get the same sort of ceiling tile. Right, so we've got all of the walls in that one, right? Beautiful. Right, so if we move on to the next one, we'll make this smooth stone, maybe? Yeah, let's use smooth stone. That's like a nice floor as well, isn't it? It's not as decorative, but it's kind of a nicely finished texture to all the surfaces. And it's a slightly paler grey as well, so it's not quite as dark as some of the other building materials. And then the final one, I think we might, do we use a plaster? I'm kind of tempted to use a plaster. Shall we use the plaster? Or should we use the other rock? Let's use the other rock. Let's keep the plaster for the more expensive properties, because I imagine we'll be adding a few more of those later on. Because the closer we get to the area where the castle is, the more impressive the houses ought to be. So I think we use the plaster and the fine plaster nearer the castle. Right, so we want doors and windows. I think this time we'll use the criss-cross door and window on the first one, and then we'll use the silver finished decorative door on one and the gold one on the other. Which way round? We use the gold one on this one. We use the gold one on this one, and then the silver one on the other one, I think. So we want the gold textures. Well, they're brass textures, isn't it? The brass textures on this one. And then this one will be like the silvery colour. So they're probably iron, aren't they, on this one? Yeah. There we go. There's the door, and there are the windows. Let's do those. There we go. That's all of our structures completed. So now we have to think about what we want to do in the interior. So let's start with some lighting. If we put like these chandeliers right in the middle of the ceiling, I think we only need to put one chandelier in and that will light it up better than having the torches all the way around the edges. Which A makes it quicker and B makes it quite light as well. And the whole point of doing these is to try and get extra houses in so we make a little bit more money and do it quite quickly. So our money number is going down because we had over 90,000, 93,000 I think when we started, now we're down to 85, so we're losing money to make money. Losing money in the short term to make money in the long term. Right, so again we want all the standard things in the houses. We're going to want a bed and a closet and a kitchen-y bit and a table and some chairs and maybe a sofa, and then we start to get, in these 6 area houses, we start to get a little bit of variation in what the tenants require. So do always check that, especially if you want to change out a slightly messy tenant. You need to double check that the new not so messy tenant has all their requirements met, because there's a little bit of variation. Some want basins, some want wash tubs, some want posh tables, so just make sure you've got the right thing there for the particular tenant that you're bringing in on these. Right, so that's our little bit of a standard like kitchen-y thing. We want a table. These houses are a little bit bigger, so we could use slightly bigger tables, but I think we use a small table again here, but we use a different texture table, this plank one. If we rotate that, so the smooth bits are where the 2 most commonly used chairs are going to be. But we will use the starred or crowned better quality chair this time. We'll use the slightly better quality pieces. We'll put 3 in, I think. We've got space. And then we'll have a sofa. Do we go for a slightly more upmarket sofa this time, or should we go for the same one? I think we'll start with the same one. We'll go for these little red ones. Are so cute. Let's put a carpet by the sofa. We'll use the one with the little crown again. Something decorative on a wall. Let's put the dining room, let's put this still life. I really like that for dining rooms. And then we'll leave the rest of the space until we look at what the tenant wants, because like I said, they tend to have a little bit of a variation. So we want to tailor make it for the best person. So for a 6 we've got 13%, for a 6 we've got 9%, so that's the best one. Right, we've got 9, 10 and 13% damage, so we'll go for the 9% as a tavern keeper. And his additional, why are you not showing me his additional requirements? Bathtub, it said bathtub but it disappeared and it wouldn't show it to me. So we'll go for quite a darkish light colour on a lot of the woods, haven't we? So we'll go for the darker colour bathtub. Double check that that's what he wants. Yeah, there you go, he wanted a wash tub, so that's him in, so that was the best tenant for that one. Let's add a little step outside the front of these doors. It is high enough to warrant one little step. I think we'll do that. Don't want people tripping up. Right, so we want the rent boards. Let's pop those on the 2 houses. And then we'll see if we've got a suitable tenant available. 10 house, 4 and 6. And the only 6 one is 14%, so he's not so good. Got a 5% there for somebody who wants a 10 area house. Do you know what? We might build a bigger house to put in that nice low percentage person. Did say we should maybe build a couple of slightly bigger ones. Let's put the basic stuff that we need into these houses first. So we start with the bed So we did red last time, we're doing blue this time. Nice closet. Try and put different ones in each of the houses so there's a little bit of variation. Go to kitchen and put in our kitchen, basic kitchen. We'll go for the slightly darker colour one in here, I think, to match the darker wood that we've used in the closet. And we want a table. Should we use the slightly bigger one this time? We've got enough space. And then we could use... oh, we could use these nice bench things, couldn't we? As, like, chairs for the table. We've done that once before and I really liked it. Should we do that again? So if we put that... do you know what, this might be a little bit... oh, too much space here. If we put that here, it's going to extend a little bit far across maybe. Might be better to put it over here in this section of the house instead, if we're going to do that kind of layout. So let's move that across. Yes, I like that. That's really nice. It leaves us quite a bit of space in the middle, but that also gives us a chance to tailor make the place for the tenant's specific requirements. Let's just put a rug. Let's put it next to the bed this time. And then some form of decoration. Let's put this nice still life again in like the kitchen-y dining room area. I just really like that picture. And we'll leave the door open to show that we haven't put a tenant in yet. If I can be clever enough to leave the doors open for the ones we've not tenanted, then it'll be much easier to figure out where we've not finished. Right, so we'll put the bed, we'll use the nice red one again under the window. And then a closet. Which closets have we not used? Not used this one, have we? This is a slightly paler wood, I think. It's got a little bit of decorative stuff on it. Yeah, look, it's got a little bit of decorative stuff on the front. Right, so the kitchen thing. We'll use the paler one this time, I think. Then a table. Which table have we not used? We haven't used this one in one of these slightly bigger tables. Let's put that here. We haven't used this fancy table in one of these slightly bigger houses. That's what I meant to say. That's not what I said, but it's what I meant to say. My tongue can't keep up with my brain. That is my main problem. And then I fall over the words and it all goes wrong. I think we could do like a corner seating area this time. We'll use two of those nice pretty red chairs. And we could probably put one of those decorative tables like this one in the corner. Will it fit like that, or do we need to... we might need to move the sofa a little bit. I don't think we left quite enough space. Right, so move you across a little bit. And then pop this pretty little table. I really like this table. I think it's gorgeous. Yes, beautiful. Now that's good. And then a rug. Maybe something decorative on top. Oh yeah, let's put a book on top of the little table in the corner. Yes, I like that. Now a rug. We use the sort of winey coloured rug. It's a bit dirty, that rug, to be honest, but there isn't anything else. And then the beautiful picture on the wall by your table again. Right, so that's set up as well. So yeah, so that 5% guy who wants a 10 area house, I really think he's the one we should be building for. So I think we might take a little tangent here. We've built our 3 2x3 houses, which are an area of 6. But because the only person there that wants a 6 house is a 14% damage, I don't really want to tenant for him. So I think we want to tenant for the guy who wants a 10 house. But you know what? I think this space here, we might even be able to get 2 houses at like a 10 sort of area. Let's try and fit one and see how much space that leaves. Let's have a little like steps up into it because it's a bit more fancy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's his 10 area. I think we could have a front like living room, dining room, and then the back 4 squares could be a bedroom. We're going to have this very fancy staircase, hopefully at the front. Should we go right in at the centre? Let's go right in at the centre. And you know what? I'm tempted. I think we might put like a little patio balcony thing in this back corner, and then have some steps coming down from that. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go for a little bit more fancy. So we want our front door here. We want access to our little patio balcony thing there. And then we want to put windows. We want windows next to the front door. We want a window next to the side door. We'll have one window onto the balcony, and then every other one will try and be a window. And that, I think, might work quite well. Should we? Yeah, put one there. We've got 2 windows next to each other, that's fine. Fill in all the gaps with the solid wall. Right, that's done that. And then the bedroom's going to be off the back here, so we want 1 solid wall and 1 door. And then I think we should start making floors and things. So we'll use a nice plaster finish. Use a fancy plaster finish on the actual house structure and floors on the interior. And we'll make that little balcony area a different texture. I think we might use the pristine rock on that. So we've got that like tiled textured floor just for the 2 squares out here. Then we're going to need balcony railings. Remember, put the railings in first, because if you put the pillars in first, then it doesn't like you putting railings. So we put a... let's go there. I don't think I want to put it there. I think just in this corner. I think that'll do it. And now we can go for the roof. Now the question is, what sort of roof texture are we going to use for this one? I think we might use the one that makes a full roof, like with the 4 triangles that stick out, and it just all meets together quite nicely. So we'll go along here, and then we'll go across and down here, and do it in strips so that it's all done. It's mostly done in the same direction. I might have turned around for 1 or 2 of them. And then the roof needs to be the plaster. No, yeah, plaster. That way it's a slightly different texture, isn't it? There we go. Lovely. Don't think there's any gaps. I think that's all worked out okay. Right, let's put the rent board on the front just to make sure that that's all worked out fine. If I can get the rent board to sit, thank you. Right, so 12 of 10, yes, so it's happy it's made that. Right, so we need a little bit more money towards it. Right, so first thing to do is doors and windows. And then some lighting. So we'll use something a little bit more fancy. Let's use these like silver finish iron fittings and textures for all the doors. Let's open all the doors so we can get in and out easily and decide what else we want to do. All the shutters. Let's slowly and systematically go around so we don't miss anything. Yeah, so this will be the bedroom. Let's put lighting. We'll put a chandelier right in the centre of both of these 2 rooms. So this will be the living room, kitchen, dining room. This will be the bedroom. And then out back we've got this little like balcony area. So what we want is some of these little candle sconces on the walls. Maybe 1 at each end. So 1 here and then 1 right at the other side there, like that. Let's light these up. Let's keep this fairly simple. Let's pop some plant on the patio. Let's put 1 at each end. Will that block the... oh no, that'd be quite nice. Should we put 1 in the middle here as well? Yeah, let's do that. Right, and then I think somewhere to sit. So if we use these nice little benches, we could probably put 2 on, and then the balcony's full. and it'll be pretty, and it's done. 1 and 2. I think that looks good. So if we back up a bit, you can see what that looks like. I like that. That's kind of pretty, isn't it, to add something like that? There might be space to put another house in here, I'm not sure. We'll look at that later. We're not going to do that today. I do think we might add like a well or something, so maybe we won't add a second house to this area. Yeah, no, I don't think there is enough space. If we add another one, it'll have to be a tiny house. So yeah, we probably won't add anything else to this little section. Might add a decorative floral bed down the side or something, but we won't do that today, we'll do that later. Let's have a nice fancy bed in our bedroom. And those big nice canopies. Somewhere to store stuff over on this wall. I think he asked for a wash tub and a basin, so we might actually add that into here. If we go for the brown one, we could put it... How about we put the wash tub here and then the basin sort of next to the window. We'll go for... How about this brown one? That needs to be turned around. And then... Oh, should we use that little narrow rug around the bed? I tend to do that quite a lot, don't I? But there's like runners around the bed. We'll just do it on the side and the bottom here, because we've put the bed quite close to the wall, so there isn't space at the other side. That's pretty, I like that. Yep, I definitely like that. And then some sort of decoration. Let's put a little country scene. And maybe one of those fancy decorative pots going right in the corner. There they are, look. Yeah, how about that, right in the corner. Nice, so I think that's the bedroom. So this is now the lounge dining room. So if we put the other fancy pot in the corner, we could maybe even fit a fireplace there. If we go for the small decorative white one here, it probably looks better if you centralise it on the panel, but do you know what, I'm going to off-centre it so that we can put a sofa up against the wall on the side there, and then we can put another one between where the pot is and the fire. Did that make sense? Yeah, so one up against the wall here and then one rotated at the side here. And then we'll want some sort of carpet in the middle. Could we do like... Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Because they're too long this way and they're too long in either direction. So maybe we use these like little brown ones. We'll put one there and one here, and then we need to move this other one because it's not in line with the first one. I think that's better. Yeah, that's pretty much in line, that's good. So something decorative on this wall. Let's use one of these countryside pictures. Oops, I've rotated it the wrong way. Other way, please. That's much better. And then something over the fire. How about a shield? Because that won't be affected by the heat. Yeah. And then over here we can have like... Oh, that fancy table again. That really pretty fancy table that I like. We can put this up against the wall and maybe put something on top of it, maybe like a book or a plant or something. What should we put on it? Oh, how about this open book? That looks quite nice. Rotate. Pop it down. Oh, no, it didn't put it down. Sometimes it doesn't put the things down when you tell it to on top of things. There we go. I'm not going to attempt to check if it's the right orientation because it might not go back down again. Right, so we want the kitchen area over here. So if we put the table in the corner and then the like kitchen shelving thing in next to the back door, that's the best utilisation of the space, I think, without tripping over things. So I think we'll use the fancy chair. So we're going to want one over here, and we might need to move the table a bit. And then that's too close to the door now at this end. We're going to have to move things again. Yeah, look, there's a lot of space at this side. So if we make sure that this chair's as close to the wall, then we can move this table up as far as that chair will let us. Right, where's the... there. It's quite a distance, so let's move these at the side in. We'll get it alright, don't worry. A little bit of moving, everything will be fine. Right, so 2 more chairs over this side. Lovely. Right, a candelabra maybe on the table. There is a pretty one, there it is. And then something decorative. Do we do a plant? Maybe not. Do you know what? Let's go for the cheese and the bread basket, because I kind of like that. We've done that before and I really liked it. So let's put the bread over here. Well, candlestick's not completely scented. It's close enough though. Yeah, there's the bread basket. Let's pop you there. Lovely, like that. And then here we need the kitchen cabinet thing. That's the one, because that fits nicely at the side where there's a door and doesn't get in the way. It'll be in the way if somebody was stood at it, but it's not in the way if you're just using it. And what shall we put on here? I feel like we should put something. Let's put the thyme plant on there. And then some sort of extra food, like some grainy stuff. Oops. Come on, please, thank you. Nice, I like that. That's pretty, I like that. So, how's that look? We've got some decorative things in there. So you've got your lounge there and your dining room there. So that's all those things. Let's check. Let's check. Put my mouth back in. Yeah, right, we've got everything that he needs, so we'll rent that house to him. And now that we've done that, we can have a look at the outside. That looks pretty. Right, all that needs cleaning already. Right, let's see if we've got anyone we can put in our new houses. So there's a 6% mason, 6% damage mason. That would possibly be a good one. And there's a 6% farmer. Let's do the farmer. So we need to add one more item to make him happy. And we want a basin. We'll use the big fancy one. Yes, let's do that. I think that's the only addition that he wanted. And then if we're really lucky, the other 6% damage person will stay. Right, so we're going to rent it to the farmer. Yeah, that's all of his needs met. Look. Rent the house. Right, close the door to show we've rented it. Now let's see if the other person's still there. 4, 4, 6, 8%. That's not bad. Mason at 8%. That's good. Right, so we need to add the extra items. As you can see, they just want an extra item. And it's not always the same thing, but with these it does seem to be they both want basins, so that's quite simple. So that gets all of our new houses rented. See, that looks quite pretty. That gets everything rented, so we've done well now. We've rented out 7 new houses in the last 2 episodes. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!